guys, what's going on? FY my pawn here, and welcome back, Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Since we last left off, if I do recall correctly, we decided to help two of our companions deal with their own personal quests. Some did some things, some did some others. We didn't get the best results for some people, but that's just how it happens sometimes. We're going iconoclast route, though. There's going to be differences here and there, but I digress. For this stream, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be confronting the Grand Inquisitor. Or at least we're going to be trying to. And whatever else happens, happens. But I digress. Without further ado, let's just get into things and see what happens. Alright. Since we last left off, I took a little bit of a break, mainly due to the fact that I had well, it was my birthday on Thursday, so that's why I took a 3-day break, and, you know, I just wanted to take some time for myself like I usually do, so that's just why that happened. So if you're wondering why I was those 3 days, just taking a break. And just properly getting myself ready for, you know, proper streams over the 6 course of the days like I usually do. Because it's been, like, a really big problem for me not streaming too much. But hopefully that's going to be alleviated. Because I'm going to be more dedicated to throwing in content here and there. But I digress. Now, if I'm correct, yep, the only quest we have is we need to demand answers from Calcazar. So the only thing that we've really got to do is just go to Trinitas. We're going to warp over to Tekalos Epsilon. It's an easy trip. We are going to warp over to Mundus Valencius here now. And finally, we can wrap it off by going to the Fernubis world, or however you pronounce it, where football is. Because this is the final location that we need to be at. We're going to visit, and we are going to resolve the combat that is, well, we're going to resolve the confrontation, if there is going to be anything in football. But yeah, we're going to save here. Go. And let's go into football to see if we can't confront the Grand Inquisitor. We are going to go straight over to the atrium here. We don't need to bring anybody for this, so we're just going to go it solo. And unless an ally wishes to come along with us, which I don't think is going to be necessary for this part, we should be fine. Let's go see what sort of situation is going to befall us here. Well, it shouldn't be too hard as far as I'm concerned. This should be, like, quite easy. Could be worse. Could be worse. But, no, we can make this work quite easily. We just gotta wait for the duration to finish, and then we should be good. Take some time, but it's fine. There we go. All right.
I always keep my options
How
open.
you doing, Zeta? There you go, data slate. That is the majority of the planets I have covered, and that should be good. Until we get into trading, in which case, there you go, but I don't think we're going to be finding much more resources past the point that we've basically gone through. To my knowledge, anyways.
Rise to the top,
We've done the most that we can for the Imperium. We've done our iconoclast route as hard as possible. And now, let's confront the Grand Inquisitor to see what's going on. We're gonna save here just to make sure. And we will continue on. Going solo. At least, for the most part.
Keep your wits about you.
Assuming we need to bring anybody in, that is, of course, but I digress. Rambling aside. The old servant cast a sharp, appraising glance at you. How can I be of use to your lordship? The hall bears the marks of cleanup. Quick, thorough, and unceremonious. A smell of ash from the burned reports hang in the air. Every trace of the Lord Inquisitor stay at the palace has been destroyed. The only reminder of it is the elderly servant sticking out like a nail amid the emptied space. Where's Xavier? The Lord Inquisitor is away on an urgent mission. Brochure's colorless voice matches his glaringly useless reply. He has abandoned you here, then? My master has no need of my services on his present expedition. I was tasked with cleaning up. As soon as the conversation turns to Calcazar, deferential and ecstatic overtones brighten the servant's dry voice. I wish to know where he's gone. I was instructed to tell your lordship that the Lord Inquisitor advises against making that inquiry. The outrageously rude words are spoken in an impeccably polite tone. Tell me where he went, or else. That was a mistake. A blade appears in Frosier's hand, a common Cadian pattern, monomolecular, edged bayonet knife, whose handle is covered in scratches from years of use. Ooh. The gleaming blade makes a series of lingering flashes on your retinas. You very narrowly dodge the stabs aimed at your eyes and throat, grab hold of the man's wrist, which might as well be made of stone, and start twisting it out of his cracking joint. A crushing elbow blow connects with your jaw. The lightning-fast hand-to-hand fight ends in your victory before you even realize you've been attacked. What are you doing, you bastard? Brochure rasped suddenly. My master told me to stay behind to prevent the possibility of pursuit. Your meddling in the Inquisition's affairs is a mistake. You're certainly no mere servant. You learned to hit like that. Gideon thought. Hidden circumstances of enlistment in Lord Inquisitor's retinue classified. The servant squeezes out a venomous smile. Tell me where Xavier is gone and you will live. Don't you see he has abandoned you? Brochure presses his lips together stubbornly and reaches for his tall boot. You put more pressure on his maimed wrist to make him stop. Let me ask you again. Where has Xavier gone? Courageous spirit can overcome anything, but the weak, pain-fearing flesh can't. When Froshier's nerves begin to snap under your pressure, he blurts out, Porta, stepped in a dimensional gate. The servant bites his tongue furiously, livid at his body's faithless weakness. Go. I won't kill you. The servant, now a broken man, looks at you with hatred in his eyes. You won't stop my master anyways. Don't follow him. Better to run away. I'll change that. But then again, it does appear that things are going to be spicy. Apparently, things are not going as well as they seem. Now, whether that's a good or a bad thing, it's hard to say, but it's certainly a glaring situation. An entire group of people salutes you. Most of them, an escort of honor consisting of members of retinues, associates, secretaries, bodyguards, and assorted others, bow deeply to you and shout their greetings, making a lot of noise. It appears the news of your impending departure has already spread throughout the nation, the station. Leaving us, are you, your lordship? Vladimir Tokara is once again in his clean, decoratus imperial bureaucrat persona, as if the cutthroat who carved himself a bloody path back to the liege's throne never existed. My flock tells me rogue trader von Valencius is going off on a long journey expedition. It'd be unrighteous to let you go without a blessing for the journey. Commutative interaction option unlocked. Purpose of data exchange. Strengthening ties and delivering a gift, material assets, a donation to an ally. We barely got news that the Lord Inquisitor had left his cozy football perch. And now you're off on a long journey too. Thought I might as well come to see an old acquaintance. An officer of the Imperial Navy. Uniform holds his hands in a sign of Aquila. It's an honor, your lordship. I'm here on my superior's orders to pay my respects to House von Valencius. Have you come to wish me good luck, Vladimir? Yes, your lordship. You're a valuable business partner. Although I'd much like to take our trade relationship to a higher level of trust. When you're back from the expedition with trophies, remember I can offer the best price. A word of advice. Give up smuggling and take care of footfall instead. Or you will end up on the gallows after all. Thank you for the warning. I hear, your lordship. Is blessing me the only thing you're here to do, chaplain? To promise something too. My mission will look after your subjects. You've done us a lot of good, and it'd be unrighteous not to repay in kind. Members of my congregation are already unloading supplies to your ship. I have a personal gift of appreciation for you from the cult of St. Drusus. With people like you, this god-forsaken corner of the universe still has a chance to become a fine place. In doing so, we get Crusader plate armor, which is interesting. And for doing good, we have become a paragon of true virtue in the eyes of the cult of St. Drusus. We've earned trust and respect in its congregation, basically. May the Emperor help you in your undertaking. May Drusus the warrior grant you good fortune in battle. May your engines be prodigious in thrust. Why have you come, Opticon? Subject status assessed as highest trusted ally in accordance with the Mutual Support Manual. Please confirm your readiness to receive a fee, donation, contribution from the Cognizance Fleet. Asset description. Standard exploratory supply set for Revelation O2 Void Ship and a personal gift tool blessing. We get the Burden of Servitude and Adeptus Astartes weapon for its trouble. Farewell, my comrade. Remember Euphrates... well... yeah. Farewell, my comrade. Remember Euphrates too. Request approved. Information concerning the joint cleansing of the sacred world cataloged under high-value data. Ryza, are you here to discuss business or just wish me good luck? To wish you good luck. You've avoided doing business with the Fellowship of the Void, but perhaps that may change in the future. When you're back and your hold is bursting with trophies, you can find me at the Valencius. Drinks are on me. No shenanigans while I'm away. I'll have you strung up as soon as I'm back. Rattler stifles a chuckle. Well, I hope you don't forget, old Ryza. You know, pick a softer rope for old time's sake. Alright, what are your orders, officer? Your lordship, before you leave Footfall, I would like to present you with an official statement of gratitude from my organization. The Imperial Navy holds House von Valencius as loyal comrades in arms. Allow us, therefore, to recite our grateful appreciation. Please do us the honor of accepting a modest quantity of supplies to support your courageous expedition. We get some fancy macro cannons. Protect the expanse while I'm away. We will not forget our duty, your lordship. These stars will be ours. Time to depart. Multitude of voices answer you with good luck wishes, blessings, parting advice, and words of respect, shouting over each other, but alike in their sincerity. For a second, you feel especially, clearly, that you probably aren't going to see any of these people ever again. Put simply, it's stating that we might have a final voyage ahead of us. So, yeah, we're getting into the final cusp of the campaign, as it were. And it's gonna get wacky. But, we will deal with that once we deal with that. But all in due time. All in due time. Your lordship, we have a long expedition ahead of us. It'd be reasonable to replenish supplies, ammunition, spare parts, better equipment. Who knows what we're about to face? I already have everything we need. Well, actually, let's check just to be sure before we go. I'd like to check the Martyr's Endurance first. See if there's anything left over here before I continue on, if you will. But this will be the last chance that we will basically get the chance to see Footfall. Or let alone anything, so you might as well be prepared. But I think we've covered most everything. There shouldn't be anything that we need to worry about, to my knowledge. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything else. I guess we could talk with Octavia, see if she has anything. How are you enjoying your liberated Footfall? Alright, I wish to make an announcement. I shall be brief. It was a glorious victory, so everybody gets beer. I lost valuable suppliers of equipment, yeah. Alright. Let's get the heck out of here. I don't think there's anything else left for us, so the most we can do is probably talk with the chaplain. So we're gonna have to go to him. So we're gonna go back to the area that we were at before, so the atrium. Then we'll go from there, and then we will leave. I just want to check to make sure we haven't missed anything, because it's not the first time that's happened. And it's probably not going to be the last, but I'm fairly certain we got everything. I was very thorough in this playthrough, at the very least, with Warhammer, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything anywhere else. As much as I possibly can, anyways. All the same, we're doing well, so I can't really complain. So I guess we'll see what happens. Alright, just gotta wait for that to load. There we go. Perfect.
Rise to the top.
Alright, so the chaplain should be over on this side, to my knowledge. He is not. Okay. So I guess, yeah, no, the chaplain is not there, so we're gonna have to go onto our ship to find the chaplain. Yeah, so we'll just go to the void dock, essentially, and get out, I guess. And then we just talk with the, on-ship, trader. So we're gonna head on to our... Oh, we got void ship stuff. Hold on. Let's see. Alright, 39 for long range. We'll just equip that because it's basically slightly better on one side, so it's fine. Alright, well, with that, we are going to go to the bridge here real quick. See if there's any more purchases we need to get done. I don't think there is anything that we need to cover, so it's really just a matter of completing the rest of any sort of objectives that we need. And then we should be good. But overall, I think we're basically fine. Because most everything that we have is just not something we can really reliably trade with. So, whatever. Oh, 1 second. Just spam call. My bad. Well, not like I can really control that. Alright, shipping and trading goods. We've got full rep with the Explorators and Drusians, full rep with the Imperial Navy. Let's see. Can't really do much with Vladimir, but we can certainly do some more trading with these guys here. Boom. We'll at least get some, we'll at least get those, because we can. Then I guess Kosbala mission, see if we can get even more. There we go. Not by much. We can at least get the Heliarch gloves and these medkits. That should be fine. We did manage to get some new items. We're going to go by date, newest to oldest. So Burden of Servitude was one such thing. We managed to get ourselves the Crusade, the Crusader plate armor, which is something that we did manage to get. It is a 75 armor weapon or gear with a 6 armor deflection. Not as good as the power armor though, I must admit. But it's pretty decent if you're looking for a good parry build. And let's see, we managed to get the Arc Militant boots and all that jazz. Nothing really useful for us though. Regardless, we have basically set ourselves up for victory. Everything here is set up to its utmost, and we'll just have to hope this is enough. We've got lore. We're basically good on stats across the board. If we need to change anything, we will, but I don't believe we can really do much about what we've got currently. And if there is anything, then I'm not 100% certain it will work. We'll see. I'll just go through my items real quick to see if there's anything I can use. That might be better than the 10 agility and perception. Even though it's Assyriani and Drakari only, it seems like that tooltip doesn't work, so I'm just glad it works on me. Regardless. I'm not an assassin, so that's useless. Don't use move, nor do I use bring it down. This would probably be the next best thing I could use, the Omnissiah Holy Symbol, but again, items vary. Hmm. Five willpower each time their abilities affect an ally. A vortex pendant could be really potent, but I digress. The next best thing I could probably do is a Warlord Amulet, which gives me an extra bonus to dodge, and I get it equal to my int bonus, which is 8. So, while it is pretty decent, it's not perfect, yeah. Honestly, nothing of what we found thus far is going to be any good for us, so I'm just going to stick with the amulet that I got, because it's been really helpful for us. Because the agility and perception is just good for any sort of dodge and perception-based abilities. Regardless. Now we go to Porta Certimum, which is going to be a little bit of a jump. We just go to Mundus Valencius. We warp over to Cranarch. I do believe we've explored everything except for the Imperium, but we can't go there anyways, so there is no point. We've explored literally every single planet. We've gotten most every single upgrade. The only thing that we did lack is one such upgrade. But we've basically fully upgraded everything, for the most part. To a point that we're gonna be fine. So, we go to Porta Certimum. And let's engage. There will be no turning back. This is the point of no return. Ensure that you've taken care of any unfinished business, procured any necessary equipment, explored every world, and completed any desired colonial projects. We will no longer be able to do so after passing through the other side. We have theoretically done everything in our power to do our objectives, so there isn't really much need for us to go any further than that. So really it just comes down to whether we want to stick around or not. As far as I'm concerned, we've done everything that we need to do, so we don't need to go any further. I am basically satisfied. So, depending how long this takes, this is probably going to be 1 or 2 parts, and then the game's going to probably be finished, but we'll have to see. Lord Captain, our augurs are detecting energy currents of intermediate nature within the dimensional gate. It appears to be active. We see a number of ships near the gate, and judging by their markings, they belong to Lord Inquisitor Calcazar's personal squadron. I know this place. Calcazar summoned both of our packs here to seal this portal. To terror and woe. Much blood we did spill that day. Alas, it was not the blood of Xenos and Warpspawn, but the cog priests of Calcazar himself. While they were working on the gate's foul machines, the breath of evil coming from the other side was turning them into frenzied monsters. Lord Captain, don't take it as cowardice, but duty obliges me to ask. You do realize that this may end up being a one-way voyage, don't you? Crew, this is the Lord Captain speaking. I'm taking the ship into the unknown, where danger lies and glory waits. Are you with me? For a while you hear no response. Then the silence is broken by the sounds of heavy footfalls. The rhythmic stomping grows louder and louder. Thousands of feet strike the deck as if marching into oblivion under your banner. Onward then. No matter what the journey holds for us, I'm ready. Yes, Lord Captain. Whatever is waiting out there, beware. Von Valencius is coming. Contact the ships at the gates. I wish to go through. Incoming message. You are entering an area declared forbidden. Any attempt to approach the Xeno artifact will be considered an act of rebellion against the Emperor. Leave now or be destroyed. Lord Captain, would you prefer to send your reply with the help of the Vox clerics, or the main deck gun? Main gun deck. Commence the blessed ritual of loading. All decks, begin combat preparations. We are giving battle. You heard the Lord Captain. Battle stations. Wait, who in the void is that? Some of the enemy ships are breaking formation in haste. They are regrouping and falling back to repel an attack from the rear. Looks like someone has arrived and lend us a hand. The enemy is scattered. Now the time is to engage. Who is attacking the Lord Inquisitor's forces? The augurs detect ships marked with the coat of arms of House Winterscale. House Quarter is transmitting a Vox call to Inquisition forces. They guarantee safety if they surrender at once. We detect Aldari void ships among the arrived allied vessels too. But we too shall strike. And that is 3 different forces joining in to fight a common enemy. Jesus. Well, that sets the tone, huh? We got allies on all quarters. Kind of impressive when you think about it.
Mighty machine spirit, lend us a modicum of thy power.
Alright. It is time to go absolutely bonkers with combat. No need to hesitate. We're just gonna fire as much as we possibly can. Alright. We'll start with the firestorm in front of us.
Fate has provided
There we
an
go.
opening.
We are going to throw down a missile barrage this direction to help with the fire of this one. There we go. If we do this, then we can really lay waste to this guy.
We broke their shield, Lord Captain.
There we go. We will then do a warp wave.
Fade to nothing.
There we go. Let us activate torpedo control here to really put them in a bit of a predicament. We're going to move back to here. We're going to do a shield on the aft because that is the protective area that we need to cover. We're also going to do a vulnerability scan here. There we go. There we go. The sword class frigate begins its move to do some damage to the firestorm frigate here. Alright, this one's going to start moving. Alright, it's going to focus on the sword class, but unfortunately for it, well, yeah, no, it's going to destroy our ship companion, but sadly, that's fine. Well, not sadly, but it's to be expected. Oh well. Oof. Good thing our barrier's at the back here. Otherwise, we'd be in a bit of a worse spot. Alright. Okay, with this, we are going to do a new heading here to get some serious turnage. Alright, we're going to absolutely blow through this guy. Okay, we're gonna turn to here. Okay. We're kind of forced to just take the shot at this guy now.
A breach in the enemy's shield
There
has
we go.
been
Let's see.
revealed.
How's our shields looking? Everything seems rather fine. This guy's facing this way. This guy's facing this way. So overall, we do an expeditious reload here. We can actually get a kill shot here.
An opening!
Boom.
Our gun batteries await your command!
Alright, now if this guy's going to turn this way, so we ideally want a shield on the front. Make it as hard as possible for him to actually do anything. I could use this. If I really, really wanted to do a ram, but I don't think that's going to cut it, so we're just going to leave it at that. We'll force him to turn, so that way he's going to try and get a shot in on us, but alas, our shield's going to be perfectly fine against him. We're just built different. He's going after the side, though, so we got to be careful of that. But with a simple maneuver here, we can just blow up on the side
No boarding action.
and ruin the day.
They pale before our mastery
There we
of
go.
the void.
We level up just enough, and we're basically good. Lord Captain, they have fired boarding torpedoes. It looks like the enemy has decided to take us down with a single decisive strike. Let us fend them off in honest combat. Brace for impacts. Yes, Lord Captain. Sound the alarm on all decks. All crew members get ready to repel the boarders. Alright, it's time to commit violence as ourselves now. Let's show them who they choose to face off against. The heavily armored woman eyeballs you and sneers. Rogue trader. That's a new notch on my gun stock. Never killed one of you before. If you lay down your arms right now, be spared and taken captive. The woman laughs a calling laugh. I can't promise the same to you, Rogue Trader.
I'll make an example out of you.
Suit yourself.
Stand your ground.
If that's how you want to take it, very well. We are immediately going to go into full cover here and get ready for a what's sure to be a long but winded fight.
This way. My faith.
Regardless, we will be fine. Because we're going to really deal with a lot of enemies here in short succession. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a predetermined
I'll make it
burn,
happen. Thought twice
like
before
so.
crossing me.
We're gonna do a run and gun here. Get into position here specifically, so that way we can do a modest but
I'll
honest
see to it
barrage
personally.
with bullets.
I'll make it happen.
There we go.
Taste of what's to come.
Nice. Now we add a reckless rush into the mix. Throw in a wildfire. And I guess I will throw in a surefire plan alongside a devastating attack so I can really just whittle down their foe, their forces, to knocking them prone. There we go, that's one.
Good offense.
And then we will just swap over to Cautious Approach just to give us the extra defense that we need. There we go. And everybody else will be doing their thing. We'll lose some individuals, but honestly, it's not going to be that big a deal. We're going to live through most of what they throw it against us anyways.
Quick!
Yeah, most of them are a little preoccupied even.
I'll do what it takes.
Alright. Alright, if we move over to here, it will provoke, obviously, but that's fine. I want to use this as a chance to just get a pre-controlled, or a controlled burn through here. There we go. That'll get a bunch of burn on them. From there, we swap over to our gun, as we do. We are going to use Reckless Rush. We're going to buff up every single bit we can.
I'll see to it personally.
Mainly so we can just knock a Shara off her feet.
On it.
Putting it lightly. There we go. Activate this. We don't necessarily need to keep Cautious Approach on. We just need to keep swapping it every now and again, so... Now we just focus on these two. Somehow she managed to survive all that. I'm kind of impressed, I must admit. We're going to give Master Helmsman a bit of a boost here. There we go. And then we will entrench here, just to give us a little bit more movement to work with. These guys are going to be forced to do their own thing, but obviously we're going to be fine.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, we're going to be burned, but honestly we'll be fine. Yeah, these guys are going to be suffering a lot, so... Let's see how they fare against us.
I'll do what it takes.
Yeah, they're forced to just do their thing. Lots of troops are coming in, but to no avail. She just got knocked prone from that. Impressive. Kind of hilarious, I must admit. Oh well. Alright, well, if I really want to take the most out of these guys, I should probably move back over to this space. So I'm going to provoke here. There we go. And I want to do a controlled burn this direction. Bingo. Okay. We're going to do a Reckless Rush here for this. There we go. Nice. Alright, we are going to activate Steady Superiority here. We're going to activate Revel and Slaughter. Alright, we are going to swap over to some gunning action. We are going to specifically do a run and gun here, just to make it a little easier so I can get these guys here. We're going to aim into the crowd here by doing this. There we go. Alright, we're going to reload. Just so we have the extra ammunition. We can then do a controlled burn here. Like so. Get every single individual there. Alright, we're swapping over to the
I'll make it happen.
Controlled weaponry here.
I'll see to it personally.
Alright. Wildfire. Just a controlled shot put through here. There we go. There we are. And aside from just controlling
make it
ourselves
happen.
and just going defensive, we will anchor ourselves
I'll
with an
see
entrench,
to
and
it
we should be good.
personally.
An easy fight, to say the least, is coming through.
Heretics be damned! What a rush!
Nice try. Man, they are really having trouble here.
That's gonna hurt!
Oh well, not our problem.
Heretics be damned!
Yeah, Master Helms and Radvor is having a bit of an issue here, but that's to be expected. Activate this. We're gonna just casually move up here.
I'll
Go
make
for a
it
burst
happen.
fire.
Enemy down.
There we go.
On it. Here's my perfect moment.
Alright.
I'll see to it personally.
Let's just run up here just to make sure we're getting the kill here. I'll even move as far as to go
I'll
here.
make it
There we go.
happen. It was inevitable.
Nice. And that's basically all the enemies dealt with. Nice.
Always keep your eye on the
That was easy.
prize.
Alright. As far as I'm aware, everything here can just go onto the area here. Because nothing here really sticks out that I need. I'll keep this because I can. Do I need to keep the... No, I don't need that. Don't need the swords. Flamer. We've got the Judex, so we're gonna be fine. We got some combat shotguns, but honestly, I don't need those. Don't need the bolt pistol. There we go. Done. Same here, basically. Just collect all those.
I always keep my options open.
Alright, we've basically cleared up the ship. Gonna save here. And let's continue. Our journey is not done. It does appear that we've got quite a bit of things going on. They're gonna be interesting to see what's going down here. The enemy has been routed, your lordship. We are receiving a Vox signal requesting that we admit a convoy of shuttles on board for an audience. The augurs have confirmed that the shuttles are unarmed and belong to the forces that aid us in battle. Do you wish to welcome your guests? Who is it that wants to come aboard? Rogue Trader Winterscale is on his way aboard a shuttle. We have detected the signature of her ladyship Incendia Corda's personal transports, and one of the vessels could not be identified. The auger operator believes it is equipped with a cloaking field generators of Xenos origin. Alright, welcome our guests and usher them to the bridge. Why not? Let us see who wishes to visit. Sporting a holstered autogun you haven't seen before, General Stanrock clears his throat before he begins. Reporting, Lord Captain. The attack on the ship has been repelled. All decks have been cleared of trespassers. All breaches have been, or are being mended. You have eminent visitors who wish to congratulate you on your victory. Galagos Winterscale has grown hollow-cheeked and pale. Instead of the graceful movements of a fierce predator, he now lurches like a lame bird. The augmentics in his broken back are unable to make him as light-footed as he once was. He lets out a tired sigh and says joyously, "We meet again, Vorg." Incendia avoids locking eyes with you. Her cheek twitches nervously as she speaks. I have briefly suspended my exile so I can wish you luck on your travels. The Harlequin, paying no attention to the anxious gaze of the crew, takes a bow. Behold in silence, merchant vagabond. The crossroads lay before you at this time. The laugh of jest unending has declared, your dance adroit and worthy of applause, and I, his words' mute echo, now arise, to send you on your merry way at last. Generous sighs. The Sino simply materialized on the bridge, whereupon the enforcer simply refused to approach it. After all, the enemy of humanity has not acted aggressively in any way. As of yet. Galagos, I see your wounds could not stop you from paying me a call. Winterscale grins bitterly. It takes more than a broken back to fix my bad temper. Why did you decide to interfere?
Good thing in court, Vorg. You know very well why I am here. It's simply because I owe you. Alas, Winterscale never finds himself in debt for long. Besides, I've never liked Calcazon. Your acknowledgement of me as a threat speaks to the trustworthiness of your intuition. And now that you've decided to take on the Lord Inquisitor, I'd rather align myself with a tried and true ally than someone of dubious repute.
What do you mean to do next?
Correct mistakes. Save what is left of my protectorate. Find the worlds lost in a warp storm, drive Xenos out. Weed out the final Dawn infiltrators and negotiate peace with House Corban.
The spite with which Calico spits out the word peace makes him look like his old self for just a brief moment. Gotta break something else of yours to make sure you don't turn back to your old vices.
Sharp tongue as usual, eh?
Gale nods his approval, but remains serious.
There's no need.
When the tech priests patched up my body with their steel, I ordered them not to get too overzealous. I wanted my every step and my every movement to bring pain. I wanted to be an eternal reminder of what I've done. And since I shall never see combat again, take this. You could use a sturdy weapon, and this one deserves better than gathering dust in my trophy. We get Tarvana's Last Stand. A special axe. Choose your path with care. Ever since even a single step has brought excruciating pain, I've been very cautious about the path I choose. Brazenness still colors the contours of Winterscale's smile, but the spite has vanished. My greetings to you, Incendia. Now that you're no longer preoccupied with hunting heretics, you have plenty more time on your hands, I see. Much has changed since the days I ruled Footfall. Why did you side with me? I may not see as clearly now as I once have, but visions have not altogether forsaken my mind, and I sensed some vile enterprise being plotted where you are going. You were able to stop it. Therefore, your path must be clear. Have you really resolved serving the cause of justice? Never. My heart is forever with the Emperor, but I am poor instrument of his will. I will serve the cause of justice, but I have no right to exact it. And so I entrust this tool of judgment to you. Are you going back to your domain now? Yes. Being here awakens such terrible desires within my heart. To be the bringer of justice, the passer of verdicts, I must keep the expanse safe from myself. I must return to my solitude. Emperor be with you then. May it be my destined lot to attain comprehension of his ways, his wishes, and his will. Nocturne of Oblivion, your visit is certainly unexpected. The briefest moment I was here abide. The lull between two heartbeats, nothing more. Your deeds have left their mark in memory's halls, where few among your kin have earned a place. The merchant vagabond's grand tale I'll keep, and be the steadfast guard of every page. Ulfion's nocturne will be heard no more, for with these words I play my final chord. Farewell is not an ending, but the thread that leads you to a new drama's web. The Harlequin starts taking off his mask like he's about to reveal what's beneath it, but before you can make out his feature, he laughs and vanishes in a blue haze. Where the mysterious Xenos just stood, his parting gift remains. Oak's pendant. At the start of each turn, except for extra turns, the wearer gains resolve momentum for each ally, including themselves, with 50% or less wounds. It's nice, but it's alright. Factorum, report the state of the ship and the crew. The Factorum coughs. Minor damage to the outer plating in the midship's hull and negligible personal losses as a result of offensive action by enemy boarding parties. The key systems are in order. The Engineering reports impeccable compliance on the part of the machine spirits. In other words, we are fully combat ready, Lord Captain. In that case, I need to set off. Tell me, Order looks at you with obvious effort. Is there any leniency in your soul for one who was strayed? Your crusade is a worthy endeavor. I long to be a part of it. Let you stand in judgments over others. I shall be but your instrument. I shall give you a chance to justify even some portion of your deeds. So be it. From now on, I'm your follower, and your smiting hand. Wasting no time on meaningless good luck wishes, your distinguished guests leave the bridge in solemn and respectful silence. Unexpectedly, we got Incendia Corda. I would have hoped for both of them, but unfortunately that doesn't seem to be the case. Oh well. The Voidborn raises his ever-gloomy eyes to you. The enemy is defeated, Lord Captain. We are ready to begin the spatial transition. Alright. Dozens of pairs of eyes hang on your every gesture, your every sigh. Every crew member waits with bated breath lest they miss the crux of your address. Start the translation procedure. Let us go.
The ancient gate, long impenetrable for the rogue trader, was at last ready to reveal its secrets. After gathering allies and preparing to venture into the unknown, the Lord Captain plunged headlong into the darkness that held ancient nightmares, and the answers to all his questions.
Now, there's a bit of a crux here. Unfortunately, I could have gotten Calcazar as well, but unfortunately I did not choose the proper choices. Had I done so, we would have gotten Calcazar instead of his weapon. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. Translation complete, Lord Captain. Current coordinates in unknown and indeterminable. All that's in the ship immediate vicinity is the dimensional gate that has gone into passive mode, and a large amount of debris. No enemies detected. Lord Ulfar may need to be informed that the coordinates his esteemed brothers traveled to match location somewhere in the star systems. Everything has a reason. The threads of my and my brother's words are tied together. I see Blackmane's will in our meeting finally approaching. Let us find them at Vorg, for such is our destiny's wish. What happened at the dimensional gate? The Engineers have proposed a hypothesis that it has entered some kind of recharge mode. After accumulating enough energy for a new translation, it will activate again. Or at least that's what all of us want to believe. Badly.
What kind of debris are we looking at? Those are ship carcasses. Judging by the markings, they were part of the Lord Inquisitor's fleet, and likely acted as a patrol force. The damage doesn't look like it came from any weapon we know, and the way the debris are scattered suggests the battle was short. Someone attacked and destroyed every one of them in a blink of an eye. One we never encountered before. What is this place? I can't say, Your Lordship. These are unfamiliar stars, and the system is not listed in our aggrestational data. We are in uncharted territory. Then let us go after the Lord Inquisitor. As you command, Your Lordship. If I just may point out, the expedition equipment prepared in advance for Your Lordship and your retinue has been maintained well and is ready for use at your order. The gifts passed to us by our esteemed allies from the Footfall have likewise been inventoried and prepared for service. We got some stimulants, medkits, Tesla grenades, battle stimulator medkits, and holy fire. And what are the gifts that we received? The devout preachers of the cult of St. Brutus supplied our hordes with numerous number of relics blessed by their prayers. Venerable Representative's Cognizant Fleet supplies us with gifts of the on-side normally unattainable by the laity. Imperial Navy officers supplied us with spare ships, pots, fuel, and everything one may need on a long and perilous expedition. If your lordship wills, I can provide you an itemized report and a sweet-voiced servant to read it out. Excellent. I am delighted to be of use to you, your lordship. Alright, we have jumped into uncharted sector of the edge of the expanse. Dimensional gates has closed to you, are currently cut off from the rest of Corona's expanse. We cannot return to our previous system or chart routes to them. Protectorate management is also unavailable, and you have no way to contact faction trade representatives. There is no way back, and it is pointless to look anywhere but ahead. Establish routes to the new systems in the uncharted sector on the map, and go forth to meet the inevitable. That is basically our go-to. We're going to do some investigation here, just to look to see if there's anything worth noting. We're just basically going to do some scans. We're not going to actually check out things just yet, but we're going to start by checking out the ship, because that is what Ulfar wants the most. We are going to save here. And going off our journey, yeah, as you can see, just from the quick inventory shift, or the quick shift up there, if we go into our character sheet, we actually get Incendia Corda as one of our allies for this. She is very xenophobic, as if it wasn't already obvious. But yeah, she is a dual-wielding pistol individual. If you want to play Incendia Corda or Caligos, this would be the ideal time. Iconoclast has the option of getting both of them, but I digress. We need to find where the baleful howl went and track down Calcazar, basically. Having scanned the surfaces, officers report the remnants of an exploration camp, which the scheme of scouts immediately sent. The scouting party is confused. All the equipment bears Devon Valencius' coat of arms, but there's no trace of anyone other than the rogue trader servants. Find out what happened. The scouts find traces of gunfire on the field equipment. A single unharmed data crypt is found in one of the cogitators. A group of tech priests successfully decrypt part of the data, including the order to eliminate the exploration team. Signed by Theodore von Valencius. Not far from the camp is a pit full of charred bones and fragments of armor bearing the road trader's coat of arms. The scouts' reports leave Abelard with conflicting feelings. Despite his certainty that her ladyship Theodora would not give such an order without very good reason, Abelard's expression is somber, like a missionary who lost his faith. That's concerning. Then we got another ice world here, so we're going to save here to see what's going on. Mainly out of curiosity. And we'll see what we come across. Alright, so the ice world now. The rocky world is bound in ice and shrouded in a thick fog of dark clouds. Augurs trace a faint signal to the area under ice along a distress call, whose encryption matches
that used by the Lord Inquisitor and his team. Lex interrogators quickly and effortlessly break the clever code. Their transmission goes as follows. Acolyte 17-1. Lord Inquisitor. The event, horrific vision occurred. Goodbye. The Emperor protects. Let's find a source. We're naturally going it alone, as we usually do. And let us see what this signal is all about. Oh. Hello. Well, this is interesting. And we've actually got enough experience to level up. I'm kind of surprised we actually managed that. Well, I'm fine with it. We get to level 50 now. That's pretty cool. Alright, we get ourselves an exemplar talent, and we get another first-tier archetype. Let's see, we've chosen extermination and know-it-all. And I guess we could take anything we really want, really. Characters' single shots deal damage to targets other than their main target. They gain 5 ballistics until the end of combat. This can stack to be really insane, but only good for single targets, so we're not going to get that. Let's see. We've already got perfect under fire, so we've already got +5 to that. We could get a Psychic Awakening if we really wanted to, but I don't think I need it. I think the biggest thing that we want is either resistance to stun or something else. Hold on, let me check my summer... Well, let me check my stats here. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, it's no big deal. Let's see. Deadly aim, no. All damage dealt by the character is increased by 3% until the end of combat for every new enemy damaged by them this combat. This is good if we have multiple enemies, but coming up to the end game, we want to focus on single target enemies. So we want to ideally focus on that more than anything. So let's see. We get... Our wounds are further increased by toughness, increasing by 10 times toughness bonus percentage, in the same way as basic wounds. So this could get us to absurd levels of toughness, I do believe. We can also double our deflection against single target attacks, which is pretty wacky. We can also get our attacks to over-penetrate, which basically means that our attacks just bypass through enemies, which is good for shredding through enemies after enemies. So it's good for multiple foes, not so good for single targets. I could ignore some of their deflection, which would be pretty good. I could also gain 20% I can get 20% my maximum wounds and strength, which is basically 12, I believe, or something like that. No, it should be like 24 or something. It's an absurd amount. The grievous wounds. Enemies that have 0 deflection or 0 armor against a character's attacks suffer additional damage. If an enemy has both deflection and armor, these bonuses stack. Huh. Pretty wacky. At the start of the character's turn, they restore 10% of their maximum wounds. If the character has less than 20% of their wounds left, they restore 20% of their maximum wounds instead. This is just basically the medkit option, and it could be very cheeky if I let it be. So basically what it'll do is it takes 124, and you do it by 10%, so you get like 12 wounds with this. I don't exactly like that option, so I'm actually going to go with something else completely. In fact, you know what? Just to make it simple, I'm going to go with the option that sounds the most powerful. I'm going to get 12 additional wounds on top of getting 60% of my toughness as a bonus to wounds. So it's basically 60% increase to all wounds. So from 136, I believe it is, I multiply that by 1.6, basically. That's going to bring us up to 200 or so wounds, I do believe. And we get a first-tier archetype plan, so we can choose between that. Let's see. I can use my demolition to work out damage instead of my intelligence, which gets me... So for every 10 points of demolition, I get 5 more additional damage. So 5, 10... We get 20 extra damage when we use ranged area attacks. So it's basically a 20% damage boost if I were to use Demolition Engineer. Which is pretty good for a damage boost. It's a little better than anything else, and we use area attacks most of the time anyways. Do I need anything else, though? All the soldiers' area attacks gain 5 plus 3 times ballistics bonus armor pen, and ignore ballistics bonus divided by 2 deflection when used close range. I'm gonna get Demolition Engineer. It's just a straight up 20% damage boost. Odd choice, but it works. Alright.
I always have a backup plan.
Barely perceptible heavy thrumming permeates the walls of the crypt, which are adorned with strange geometric shapes. They appear to be cast from a single piece of metal, and seem impressively durable. It's possible to gauge how many centuries have passed since they were built. Hello. Oh my god, that's messy. A rotten metallic scent wafts from the pool of dry blood. An uneven ripple runs across the stell's surface. The symbols covering it tremble and blend into each other. None stay in your memory for longer than a second.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
The blackened tracks of blood extend farther, leading you into the depths of the corridor. Basically, very, very ominous xenotech. The Confront was installed here recently, before it was destroyed by an unknown weapon.
Keep your wits about you.
And now we just make some lore Xenos checks, because apparently we've got some we got some interesting we got an interesting situation here.
Just as I planned.
The column emits a low roar, but you're able to withstand it. The bid screen awakens at your touch. Status. Beginning data transmission to the sacred calculator. And have become immortal. We have become turns to darkness. It shall be conquered, and it shall tremble in fear.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Okay, so it appears something wacky has gone on. Military equipment and mechanisms for sacred machines. Everything is untouchable. Or everything is untouched, rather.
I always get the job done.
The sight of the Xeno symbols is repulsive, but your will is strong. At the press of a key, the mid-screen displays the following. Status. Beginning data transmission to the sacred calculator. Shunning the imperfections of the flesh, its transience, and its finiteness. The new preserving a bond with the old through rhythm.
Let us not dawdle.
Images. Rotting corpses slumped over the cogitator. What force could have thrown it? And a tech use here. Save here to see what's going on here.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
The surface with the symbols tremble like rippling water, but has no effect on you. The mid-screen awakens at our touch. Status. Beginning data transmission to the sacred calculator. Its finiteness. Finiteness. We have embarked on a new trajectory amid the stars and symbols.
I always
For
keep my
existence.
options open.
Alright, Bloody Streaks seem more grim in the green subterranean glow.
Is there money to be made?
And we got a cogitator here that we can activate.
Rise
Monstrous
to the top,
structure
or
looms
get left
majestically
in the
over you.
dust.
The energy splits into the air obstructs your mind. For a moment, it seems that not only you are studying the obelisk, but it is also studying you.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Alright, let's activate the cogitator. But not before saving, obviously, because that's just what we do. Now, let's see how things pan out here. Several disfigured corpses in the uniforms of the Inquisition soldiers have been tossed into a grotesque pile between the cogitator and a large obelisk-like statue. Their killers left no trace, but you have a nagging, oppressive feeling that the very walls are watching you. The air is thick with electricity and heavy stench of rotting flesh. Only makes that feeling worse. A message blinking impatiently on the cogitator's big screen. Process. Linguistic analysis. Awaiting data catalog. Activate information panels. Let's examine the machine. You've never seen a cryptographic machine as intricate and unorthodox as this one. The numerous sacred seals of algorithmic asceticism suggest that the spirit dwelling within the exceptionally cunning and powerful, privy to forbidden knowledge. Let's try to extract the data concerning the mechanism's masters. The mechanism, having served the Inquisition so faithfully, is loath to part with its secrets. One after another, menacing scarlet dots light up on its casing. Continue. Your ruthless intrusion into the cogitator's memory chambers yields the following message. Prepare for start of Operation Perilous Sentinel. The horrific vision event may come to pass. Orders to abort the research mission to join the cognizant on the epitaph. Codes for traversing the minefields are attached. The message has been attached containing an astronomical coordinates of a planet, along with some binary code. Priority 0. Contact with barrier squadron last during dimensional gate recharging. No confirmation received of the gate being sealed. Stay on high alert. The cogitator streaks indignantly, lighting up with blinking red indicators and letting out a high-frequency howl. A word appears across the entire width of the vid screen. Algorithmic 00-02 intrusion. When the ringing of your ears subside, you realize you hear something else. Someone's heavy footsteps. The vindictive machine spirit triumphantly displays a blinking prophetic message. Well, that doesn't look good. Alright, it's time for a fight.
Your kind has no right to exist.
Alright, well, let's start getting to defensive mode here, I guess. Let's start our battle here. Over into defense mode. We got a lot of foes to fight here, so we're gonna have to prepare for the worst. Alright. Let's start by moving over to here. It's not ideal, but considering our options, it's gonna have to do. Alright, we're gonna start with a full-on barrage here.
Personally, you should have thrown twice. The best defense is a good offense.
Here we go. We are going to make a run-and-gun attempt over to here. It's not ideal for cover, but it's gonna have to cut us for now. And in fact, I'm gonna go as far as to use Reckless Rush here to get ourselves even better position. I think this will be cutting it. Perfect. Oh, no it won't. But at least to get us into a position where we can actually do this. And burn all 3 targets here. There we go. Nice. We will activate Revelate Slaughter here. There we go. We will activate Rapid Fire and Concentrated Fire on top of Wildfire here. So that way I can just mow this guy down. There we go. That deals with one of the many foes that we're going to be facing. And then we will activate Cautious Approach just so we have the defense going for us. We are now at a juicy 136. Well, temporarily, we are fine. Deathmark's going to start shooting. Thankfully, our defenses are just that good that we're going to be fine. Although, we still have quite the foes to fight, so I wouldn't be too hopeful in this situation. Regardless, we will make this work, regardless of the circumstances. Okay, we are going to move over to here. We've already used a burst fire, so we're not going to do it again. Instead, we're going to single out this one here. Here we go. We will swap over to a cannon here, and if we do another running gun here, we can get into position here. At least half cover is perfectly fine.
Taking calculated risk is in my second nature.
Alright. We'll activate both buffers here, just so we can get the best results. And I'm not going to turn on... do I need Reckless Rush? Not really. Not for this. I will activate Devastating Attack, though. Might as well, right? I'll activate Reckless Rush because I can. And I can get behind full cover here if I really need to, which is probably more ideal than the alternative. So now we're just gonna blow some shots into this guy here. There we go. Knocking him prone is perfectly fine by me. I'd rather that than the alternative. And then we wildfire here. And because I can't do any damage to him just yet, I'm just going to maintain my position here. Now, assuming he doesn't block my path, we should be fine. Keyword, I'm praying that doesn't happen anyways, but we'll see. Alright. Okay, he's chosen not to do anything. That's perfectly fine by me. So the biggest issue with these heavy destroyers is that you can't actually target them from the front. Yeah. Their plates reduce the damage against... Yeah, so if you do not target them from every... Yeah, if you don't target them from the back, they are basically just going to be a pain to handle. So that's why I'm going to mark my way over here instead. And just focus on the primed target here. Yeah, in fact, let's turn off cautious approach here. And if I'm lucky, I might be able to squeeze past this guy. But we'll see. We'll see.
I'll make it happen.
There we go. I won't reload just in case. But I will activate rapid fire, concentrated fire. Let's activate reckless rush because I can. In fact, let's prioritize dragging this guy out, ideally. Activate wildfire on top of that, there we go. And I guess knocking this guy prone is probably going to be a priority, so we'll just add that to our list of things. I don't need to worry too much about defense, so... Yeah. Alright, let's activate Entrench here, and be done with it. These guys are gonna just slowly but surely try to approach, as expected. Oh, you've tried to fire at me, but to no avail. Yeah, because of his body, I can't actually go and target him. Which kind of sucks.
Accept your lot.
Alright, I'm gonna reload here.
Not me.
Just so I have the extra ammunition here.
It's as good as
there we go. Do a single targeted burn here. Do burst fire.
On it. I'll make it happen.
Alright.
Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Follow up with another burst fire from all of these.
I'll see to it personally.
Alright, activate a wildfire here. And then just completely demolish the Necron here. With just full barrage.
Consider this a taste of what's to come.
There we go. Then entrench here, because I don't really see a reason to move any further. Unless, of course, this guy moves into a position where we can actually target him from behind, but I digress. It seems like his companion is going to do some damage for me, though, so that's good. Yep, he deals 2 damage. Honestly, not the worst thing that could have happened. Alright, I think I can get away by going here and doing this. Alright, we're going to activate Devastating Strike for this particular fight, or attack, because this will get some serious damage in. There we go. Alright, we've got Burning now, so that damage is going to perpetually just start stacking. We're going to reload here, just so we have more ammunition for this. Mainly doing it for that, though. Activate these 2 bits. Just prioritize the secondary target being a Necron. There we go. I will reload here, so that way I got even more ammo to work with. Activate Wildfire, so that way I get even more. And then, cook. There we go, get the guaranteed kill there. Done. Alright. These, Scarabs are going to be doing their utmost to try and deal with us. This guy's going to probably start trying to move into position to start, stop us, but to no avail. Yeah, he's going to just weaponize, it seems. Okay. I would move, but unfortunately, I've been blocked, so that is not really an option any longer. Well, not for a long time. Not for a short time, anyways. If I do this... There we go. I can then do a run and gun. I'll swap over to my typical gun here.
Calculated risk is my second nature.
Alright, let's activate... I guess Firearm Mastery would be ideal here. Yeah, let's activate Reckless Rush and Firearm Mastery here.
You should feel honored to witness this.
Alright. Let's go absolutely bonkers on the damage here. We don't necessarily need the devastating attack here. Although it would be ideal, but yeah, we'll be fine. Alright. Get a single target on the Scarab. There we go. Guarantee a barrage on this one.
It's as good as done. Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Alright, we throw in a Wildfire to get even more stacks on top of that. We should be able to get the kill on the Necron, but we'll have to see. There we go.
Consider this a taste of what's to come.
And bada bing, bada boom.
The best defense is a good offense.
Okay, it appears that we've got a lot of shots ahead of us, so... Actually...
Taste of what's to come.
Can I swap over this? No, I cannot, sadly. If I could, I would. But sadly, that's not the case. So, regardless, we'll just slowly but surely whittle down the HP of the Necron Heavy Destroyer here.
Consider this a taste of what's to come. Another enemy down.
There we go. And let's see. What's the damage just to show? We only get 1 damage if we're to use this, so I'm not even going to bother. So I'll just let them start approach. Yep, they try and do some damage here. Necron warriors are trying their utmost to get us into position. We are going to activate Revelant Slaughter. We are going to activate Run and Gun to increase our movement by 5. We are then going to throw in Reckless Rush to increase our movement by an additional 10. And we can quite literally move across the world here by going here. And by doing just that, we should be able to get into a position to really cause some problems.
My gut tells me it's a bad idea. It's as good as done.
Okay, sadly I can't really hit anything here, so I guess I'll just leave it at that. We'll let the movement count for us, so we'll be fine. Alright, we're gonna move here. There we go. We'll do a single shot here. Oh, that was a miss. I'll do a barrage then, just to make sure. Alright, I will do a Reckless Rush to get into position. We will get into position right here specifically, just to make it so we have an easier time of targeting the back end here. Which is exactly what we want, really. Activate Devastating Attack. Wildfire. We're even going to go as far as to use Surefire Plan to increase our damage. Just for the extra boost. Or oomph, if you will. Okay, that's not going to be enough, so I'm just going to barrage these two then. There we go. Just get rid of these two. That's probably for the best. Done. Now we just have to get the Necron here. And that shouldn't be too hard, all things considering, given our excessive boost that we have. Alright, you weaponize. All we gotta do is just back up to here. Alright. See, we have a absurd 182 armor, but our to hit is going to be absurd. We've got a nice juicy 422 to ballistics. So all we do is just increase the number of shots that we're going to be doing. We're going to reload here just so we got the absolute most out of our shots here. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to use the Devastating Attack here. There we go. This is the utmost that we can do right now. There we go. Do some more. There we go. Easy peasy.
Keep your wits about you. Let us not dawdle.
I'm not sure if there was something supposed to be here, but I don't know. Whatever. It don't matter. Doesn't appear that... Oh, there actually was something here. There is a bit of loot here that you can get by doing this. But yeah, we basically get some cogitator codes by going with that route. I don't think there's anything too special with whatever option you go here. But yeah, a lot of things just appear here, so let's go see. Let's get back onto the ship and see what's what. Alright. Alright, well, with that, we continue on. Let's see Nomos real quick, though. Nope, nothing to say. Okay, that's fine. To the Corona's Expanse map, then, for now. And we will continue on. Lord Captain, unidentified sickle-shaped ships have taken off from the planet we just left. They're approaching swiftly and readying their weapons for battle. Get ready, it's about to get hot here. Okay, that's concerning. Either we've done a good or bad thing. Hopefully hopefully it's not a bad thing. But worst case, we can always just nuke it from orbit, because there is no life on this planet, so...
I can see.
Better to get rid of the threat than worry about it, because it seems like it's a clearly hostile group of Xenos. Alright, let's move up to here. I'm gonna move this direction here. That way I can target the Jackal class figure here. Reanimation protocol. We're gonna shunt our way over to here. We're gonna throw down a torpedo. We're gonna send it across over, or right beside this Jackal. Blow it up immediately. Shoot it up. And then we'll flip the ship, just to make sure it's, for good measure, gone. And then all we do is just put a shield on the port, and we'll be good. Hopefully. Okay, they're gonna start firing lasers at us. Got some absurd turning ability, I must admit, but it's not to a point where I'm concerned. Alright, so they've managed to get out of my reach, but that isn't really gonna stop us. I mean, hell, with a proper, yeah, so if I were to face this way... Yeah, let's do a new heading here. We're gonna face this direction instead. This will give us a chance to hit the Jackal class. Focus on the frigate, basically. There we go. We can move up. And then we can do another warp wave, I guess. Oop. There we go. And then we just do this, so that way we can Oh, never mind. Whatever. We can then throw a vulnerability scan on him, just for extra measure. There we go. That'll help our sword class frigate, at least. And then we can put another port shield up, just to be safe. There we go. And the sword class frigate will do its thing. Seems it wants to run, but to no avail. Alright. Boom. And that's Okay, that's its reanimation protocol basically in. Okay, we're gonna throw in a missile. Control it, so that way it actually goes up here. Blows up to deal some significant damage. Gonna march up to here, and blow it from a distance. Or destroy it from a distance, rather. There we go.
Technological superiority was obvious.
And we get some living metal specimens. We can actually upgrade our ship from here, so that'll be nice. Not that we can actually do anything with this stuff. Lord Captain, what were those things? They took off from the surface of the world where you landed. I've never seen ships like that. Never seen such technologies either. We fished a trophy out of the void, a relatively intact fragment of a wreck, and sent it to our engineers. Just in case, we've isolated a compartment where they are performing their comprehensive liturgies. Research the tomes of the Rogue Trader's private library. Perhaps it will give us some insight into these monsters. An hours-long silence follows as your orders are executed. At last, the box comes to life again. Your lordship, the Carto artifacts claims to have mention of Xenos similar to the ones we've encountered. The manuscript refers to them as Necrons. Do we really know nothing about this enemy? Nothing but tales and rumors. I've heard stories about sickle ships that reap entire squadrons like ears of grain. About crews that have no fear about the veil of death that shrouds them and corrodes their enemies' ships like rust. Those stories aren't worth a Grok's arse, because they also say that none have ever survived encountering those sickle ships. If that were true, there wouldn't be anyone around to tell the stories, would there? Data available. Those creatures are Nephilim-mechs, the omnisized fallen angels. Citing the quotation, the first machine spirits ever created by the Omnissiah were in will, in body, and in power. Unmatched in their perfection, they were realizing the design of the Deus Ex into being, but the principle of entropy conceived by the Omnissiah was fundamental. Thus, even the perfect becomes flawed. Through the overabundance of their perfection. So vast were the Nephilim-mechs' abilities, and so immeasurable in the depths of their minds that pride tempted them. The Nephilim-mechs rejected the design of the Deus Machinus in favor of their own. The order of the Excellence was defiled, and a great war of absolute destruction came. The Nephilim-mechs were overthrown and exterminated, with only a few managing to hide from the Omnissiah's eyes, by extinguishing their minds and shrouding themselves in oblivion. In exchange, the Omnissiah created new machine spirits and destined them into servitude, so that they would remember their limits of their power, and would not descend into pride. As for the ultimate perfection, the Deus Machinus abolished it from the universe, and thus it was no more. What is this trophy we've acquired? The Engineers are at a loss. They say if it's a gift born from the Omnissiah's wisdom, but its image was imperfect, and therefore it was eroded by corruption and unbelief, whatever that means. The ship's minor conclave has gone into damnation to produce a resolution regarding the admissibility of using this item. Bolster the crew's morale. Give out rations to those who showed valor in battle. This is just the beginning. As you will, Lord Captain. Indeed. We've explored the planet and we can't go to it anymore, but that just goes to show how concerning everything is going to be here. Regardless, off we go. This is just but a prelude to the many things that we will encounter here. Let's begin our scouting mission here. We are met with some various areas here. We're going to save here. We're going to aim to try and reduce the difficulty as much as possible, but we've only got such a limited amount of resource here that we're just going to have to hope that it's going to be enough. We'll reduce everything to unsafe as we go, though. Or at least that's the intended plan.
The duty officer reported an incident in the shuttle repair bay. The security team was dispatched...
Yeah, basically in Materian troubles and strife. Nothing too crazy. We're used to it by now. We are going to reduce the route difficulty here to unsafe, at least. And now we begin our journey here into an unknown planet. Alright, we've got a ton of planets here, and even a Necron ring. Huh. Save here and investigate. Just slowly but surely. Begin our scan here. Nothing. Okay, how about here?
Most of the surface is covered in icy dunes with greenish highlights. At first, officers aboard the vessel decided that the unusual color of the ice is due to a quirk of the atmosphere. Later, it becomes evident that the source of the highlights is a group of monstrous pyramidal structures wreathed in an emerald fire. Examining them in detail with binoculars, it can be seen that one of the monoliths is damaged. A device on its wall emits an energy beam at a similar period, not far from itself. Examine the structures. The von Valencius scouts approached the monolith with as much care as possible, fearing the appearance of an enemy. The small servitors sent to gather data about the energy beam clearly demonstrated the destructive power of this xenotechnology. After carelessly making contact with the beam, it instantaneously broke apart into minuscule pieces. It is curious that the second pyramid is still intact, and that only matter at the source of the beam is being destroyed. Let's study the surviving monolith. The energy beam barely reflects off the dark metal of the pyramid. Occasionally, a scarcely visible wave runs across the surface of the monolith's walls, after which the material appears to become even smoother. It's as if one monolith is feeding the other, not destroying it. A few scouts decide to come closer in order to better examine the phenomenon. The soldiers of von Valencius notice a fragment of metallic ribcage melted right into the material of one of the walls like a bizarre bas-relief. Between the rows of ribs, a talisman of black stone shimmers with colored light after each wave of energy. The figure which the talisman belonged shows no signs of life. After a quick debate, the officers decide to take the artifact on board. We suffer a penalty to strength, toughness, and agility. However, we can use Heroic's Axe at 125 instead of 175, and Desperate Measures at 50% momentum higher, capped at 100 momentum. We are also considered as having heretical adherence if we do not already have it. So if we wear this, we basically become heretical. Which is a little concerning, but it's an option if you want to be a mix of heretical and dogmatic, or heretical and whatnot. It basically just adds more options, if you will. Which is quite alright. Alright, and we got one last planet here. Pretty much just basically planet after planet after planet. Nothing too crazy here. Alright, and the Necron ring is the last thing here. We're gonna save here just to make sure things are going well. And so far, so good. Let's see what this Necron ring is. The greenish glow of the gigantic ring made from unknown materials flows through the windows of the captain's bridge. The void ship's instruments measure a whole spectrum of various emissions. Sometimes the dull green is darkened by clouds of space dust or bent by gravitational waves. The object most closely resembles a portal, albeit what's passing through it cannot be clearly defined. Let's send a team to examine it.
Additional equipment and closer position allow the team to understand part of what's happening. The portal seems to resemble the gate's device used by the Aldari and Drakari, only made with a different material. The metallic shine of the ring alternates with the darkness of large blocks of stone, reminiscent of the materials that make up the famous Acadian pylons. Analysis of the wave signatures indicate the construct once used parts of the webway, the Aldari system of pathways. However, in its current condition, the portal is not fit for transporting vessels. It is unstable, and often begins unleashing dangerous cosmic objects. Instead of transports, the gate spews forth dark light waves and deadly breaths of incandescent gas, the latter taken from a star's photosphere. Observe the anomaly. Arcs of incandescent star gases burst from the ring, pierced by the darkness of space, reflected by the surface and other celestial bodies in the system. At times, dark-like waves bend the edges of the portal, but they are quickly restored thanks to the enigmatic flowing metal. Then lashes of purple clouds, dissected by threads of lightning, appear in the center of the ring. An unseen force prevents them from reaching the other side of the portal, as the blocks of blackstone become covered in purple scarlet illumination. If the ring truly were a portal, it is not fit to serve as one any longer. Stellar heat and gravitational force forbids any vessel from passing through it. According to the ship's astropaths, the purple clouds are an even more dangerous phenomenon, indicating that the powers of the warp are eager to flow out of the portal into real space. As if to highlight its deadliness, with the next wave of darklight, the portal throws out a shattered remains of an unidentified void ship. It's hard to believe that a civilization capable of creating a device as powerful as this one could have undergone such a decline. But yeah, that's basically it for this planet. Doesn't appear to be anything from first glance. So yeah, let's keep going. No reason to stick around. We now go to Neos Chitoris. And we're just going to get the crew to deal with this. I don't really want to fight this, so yeah. We're giving the crew the chance to fight. So why not? We're going to save here. There we go. So far, so good. Draw our route here. We've got a new connection here, so we're going to reduce that difficulty down a step. Let's visit this planet here, see if there's anything of note. And we should be good. Just more planets to explore, some fights here and there, but otherwise, just a clear slate to wrap up anything that we need to. Under the thin clouds, as if shredded by a careless blade, were vast steeps carpeted by pale gold deadwood. The rope trader's attentive eyes distinguishes a region among the endless grasses that does not fit into the general landscape. The scouts and shuttle see intelligent signs of life. Judging by the trampled soil and tent frames, someone made camp here. Distant silhouettes form a tangle of paths and obstacles. A maze. The outer walls are supplemented by a multitude of spikes and blades and decorated with scraps of leather and withered crucified prisoners. It does not take an expert in xenoculture to reason that Drakari have been here. Let's send out scouts to search the camp. As they come over the tracks left around by the Drakari structures, the scouts find items of the Imperium make: blood-soaked clothes, an Aquila patch, and a data slate cracked in half. Gothic letters and the symbol of the Inquisition are frozen in its bottom half. The sentence fragments make up part of the exploration reports. The servants of Von Valencius find a rough illustration of the camp in the pocket of the filthy coat. On it are marked 2 locations. The first is shown with a sword and highlights the area where the items were found. The other is a skull and points to a patch of ground by the maze. Let's see if we can find it. The scouts carefully inspect every piece of land in the marked area and discover a camouflage pit studded with strong, thin needles. A niche sunk into the wall of the trap glitters a volumetric flask with an ugly creature that looks like several brains stuck together. Alright, what is this? The Rogue's Praetor people recognized a grotesque figure as a Drakari Medusa, a parasite capable of registering emotions and transferring them to its masters. This thing was left here as an equivalent of a pict recorder, collecting the suffering of the Drakari's victims. Let's destroy the abomination. The flask explodes into shrapnel fragments under a salvo from the scout's rifles. The remaining liquid is collected into several test tubes to be examined in a ship's laboratory and put to good use, or destroyed on the orders of the rogue trader. Let's continue exploring. The prints belonging to landing legs and a ladder are visible in the grass behind the maze. The relative positions of the recesses correspond to the design of an Imperial shuttle. When the von Valencia scouts approach, they find a wax seal bearing the symbol of the Inquisition, and a monogram formed from the letter XC. An officer voices proposition that the initials correspond in the name of the Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar. Alright, a segment of the dry grass a few meters in front of the prints of the ladder have been cut as if scythed. Among the chopped stems lies a piece of Drakari trophy, a flap of dark skin stretched out by thin chains. Most of it is covered by a tattoo, a silhouette of a storm or tornado, and a black symbol composed of curved lines and sharp scythes. Let's burn away all traces of, yeah. There's no reason to burn the Xenos. Let's leave the area. There's no need to go too far here. Don't want to ruin the beauty of the planet after all, right? Or at least that's my reasoning. Lord Captain, there was an incident on the flight deck. The planet we discovered is located at the coordinates of interest to the Honorable Ulfar, Angel of the Emperor. The moment he learned about this, he chose to abandon ship. He ordered a shuttle be provided him, and directed to it before us. Do not know where exactly he wished to go, but the augurs have tracked the shuttle to its landing site. He stole a shuttle. Why have they not been notified about this action right away? He forbade it. And the enforcer did not dare to find Angel of the Emperor. I'm very sorry. And how did you let this happen? Lord Ulfar simply showed up at the deck, drove the enforcers away, and demanded he be granted clearance for takeoff. Your servants became frightened and dared not disobey his orders. I see. I apologize for having to bring you this troubling news, Lord Captain. Let's begin the scan here. Sounds like we're going on a solo trip down. The scouting party led by the rogue trader himself makes planetfall in the frozen world. The shuttle on which Ulfar Thunderlong departed the ship has been designated as the starting point for the search. Said shuttle is found at the landing site, intact and undamaged. Alright, let's examine the stolen shuttle first. The machine spirit is in fine form, and is ready to ascend from the world's surface. No clues have been found as to Ulfar Thunderlong's intended destination, but a keen-eyed scout sights several disturbed snowdrifts that may indicate the route taken by the Space Wolf. The scouts discover numerous structures, burial grounds and obelisks of the Xenospace that once ruled these star systems, all of which are now encased in ice, and solemn sepulchral stillness. No signs of activity by potentially hostile Xenos have been detected. Let's follow the trail. The group barely ventures onward into a realm of blinding white and crackling frost. The sky is soon blackened with the snow clouds that block out the star's light. The wind, howling like a pack of hungry spirits, sweep away all tracks and whip up a furious storm. The path is full of dangers. A treacherous crevasse, hidden under the snow's crust, suddenly opens wide underneath the enforcer's feet. It is only the vigilant Lord Captain and his companions, who hear the telltale crack in time, that saves the soldiers from certain death. A few hours later, the expedition team comes to a plateau. Rising ahead is the dark hull of an Imperial trading vessel that once landed at the world's surface. Let's start with signs for Ulfar. Red tracks in the snow leading into the ship's airlocks indicate that he was here, and recently. However, he was not alone. The scouts find strange dips in the snowdrift surrounding the ship. It seems that someone was watching the ship, from the position buried in snow, around the same time that Ulfar Thunderthang was searching for it. The escalating swarm sweeps over the group as if trying to bury them into darkness, snow, and obliterating whirlwinds. Let's investigate the ship. The ship is identified as the Revelation Granted, the merchant cog commandeered by the baleful Howl on Footfall. No signs of struggle or other misfortune are found aboard, only some useful cargo in the hold. Contrary to expectations, no crew members are found, dead or alive. The ship has been abandoned and its fuel systems are non-functional. The Promethium has frozen solid and ruptured the tanks and pipes. Let's send scouts to survey the area. The enforcers search the area and return without finding anything of interest. Not all of them return, in fact. Several seem to have lost their way and failed to make it back to the ship. Contact the ship from orbit. The raging storm makes it impossible to sack Voglink. Okay. Let's decide which direction the search will go next. In Raging Blizzard, it is impossible to determine which way the space wolf might have gone, so yeah. Take shelter. The bone-weary soldiers welcome the chance to rest. Watchful sentries stand guard while their more fortunate comrades stuff themselves with the now frozen rations of the ship's vanished crew. The temperature inexplorably plummets, but the brave enforcers following the Lord Captain's example staunchly endure the trials and do not lose heart. One of the sentries delivers an anxious report to Lord Captain. He has seen a massive shadow in the darkness, and it was definitely not Ulfar Thunderlung. Let's light a brighter fire. Barrels of frozen promethium are dragged outside. The frozen fuel reluctantly succumbs to the heat of the thermal cutters, and fires kindle around the ship. Even this is not enough to dispel the snowy darkness, but the people are buoyed up by the additional light and warmth. A messenger rushes to the Lord Captain to report that one of the sentries is missing. Large tracks have been found near the sentry's post, as well as a few drops of blood. Go on the offensive. Okay, hide in the ship's compartments here. The sentries are brought inside and the fire is extinguished. Silence reigns the ship. Frightened people do not move a muscle, afraid to give themselves away by so much as a whisper. A terrible rumbling cuts through the roar of the storm. The clash and clamor of battle is followed by a furious, agonized scream. Let's send the party towards the sound of battle as soon as possible. Tied together with ropes and bolstering each other's battle cries, the enforcers rush towards the human chains. Unable to see anything in darkness and the swirling snow, they blindly stride towards the source of the battle's monstrous thunder. I'm gonna personally... We can't select the first option, sadly. Because that's grayed out, so we're gonna go with the second option. Rush in. The Lord Captain charges forward, his soldiers rushing after him. An eerie shadow blocks their path. It is cloaked by the snow and the dark, which it turns into a barely discernible silhouette that emanates a promise of death. Clashing with the unknown enemy that cannot be seen, the rogue trader deals several devastating blows, and then malevolent foe hurriedly retreats into the blizzard. Ulfar is found lying in the blood-soaked snow, his body covered in grievous wounds, but the wolf continues to cling to life. With great care, he is borne to the shuttles, and, wasting no time, brought back to the ship for urgent treatment. Alright. Let's talk with Ulfar. Let's see what the hell he urged him to go do that for. I was expecting an actual combat, but I guess not. Oh well. I guess that's just how it kind of plays out sometimes. He certainly nearly died, though. Had we not intervened, he'd probably be dead. So, say that's a win. Alright. Where is he? He is... Inquire of the Voxmaster about the Ulfar's help. Okay, so I do need to talk to the Voxmaster specifically. Okay. Save here. Okay. When you approach, Victus pulls away, fine-tuning... Yeah. How is Ulfar? Has he regained consciousness? He is feeling better, Lord Captain. The ship's church surgeon was amazed at his resilience. The esteemed Lord Ulfar is currently convalescing in his chamber. Have a servant escort me to Ulfar's quarters. Let's go see him. See what's going on. Ulfar's dark figure towers over you. His head is lowered, his hair hanging in a curtain across his face. His fair skin is crosshatched with a broad crimson scars, held together by metal staples and covered with black spiked runes for physical healing. Would an ordinary mortal have survived such injuries? Unlikely. With a twitch of his finger, Ulfar bids the two servants in attendance to step away. Who's not to intrude on your conversation? They silently retreat. Atvar, I must thank you for saving me. I had a difficult battle. I'm glad you survived, Ulfar. I always survive. Why did you go out to that world alone? After a few moments of silence, Ulfar speaks quietly. So I did not have to bury your body in the snow. It is not out of arrogance that wolves do not allow mortals into our affairs, but because the burden of those deeds is heavy, and they reek of death. Just consider what kind of threat you could have been facing, in a place where an entire pack of Astartes have disappeared. If I had risked you for the sake of fulfilling my vows, would that have been a worthy? We fight together. Do not forget that I'm your Advar. Ulfar heaves a sigh, which seems to hang in the air between you. You and I are different. Your way is to rule and build, while mine is to destroy and chase down prey. Such is the Allfather's plan. And in that plan, my death on the battlefield is an expected and joyous event, while your death would be premature, sorrowful, and damaging to many other lives. Did you find any trace of your brothers, at least? The vessel I found. The revelation granted, that was them. Inside there were signs that wolf scouts leave for their brothers. The baleful howl landed the ship on the surface and left, and the rest of the crew disappeared. I followed my brother's trail until an unknown foe blocked my path, and a battle ensued. What foe is capable of besting you in combat? Your wounds were certainly terrifying.
An evil spirit. It attacked me from behind the wound and wounded me instantly.
Ulfar points to a particularly gruesome scar on his chest. The strike clearly indented for one of the Space Wolves' two hawks. The wound gives off a strong medicinal smell. It is not one you recognize. Probably a Parisian bomb brewed by Ulfar himself. Your healers would faint after one whiff of such a potion.
The snow covered in my eyes, and I could only make out a shadow, but it moved fast and strong. If the Allfather's gift had not knitted my ribs into a hard carapace, that blow would have been my last.
The wolf says these words with chilling nonchalance.
I can still feel its claws in my chest, frost-shredding flesh. Wounds left by spirits are dangerous. They create a spiritual link between your body and its pernicious mind. The only way to heal such mutilations is to brew a potion from the blood spilt by the incorporeal bodies.
Interesting. That spirit wounded me too in battle.
Then we are both marked. Our bodies will be tormented by its deadly touch until it's defeated. But fear not, Alan. We will defeat it. I swear it.
I see. You're not your usual self. You seem more somber.
By bitter paths come wisdom. In wake of bloody losses and shattered dreams. Heavy thoughts weighing on its broadened shoulders. It enters unbidden and tastes a seat by your hearth.
Have you been thinking about your life?
About the future? Have you ever wondered what it means to be an Astartes? To know no other family but your brothers in battle? To know no other feast but the joy of slaying your enemies and extolling your fallen comrades? To know, with certainty, that your death will be terrible, brutal, and agonizing. For time holds no sway over us, and no warrior of the Allfather has ever breathed his last in a soft bed. Death holds no fear for us that far. We have been eating at the same table since day one.
Perhaps there's something good awaits you in the future.
Listen. When the wolf priest tested me, I went to the gate of Mordkai, a dark place where real space and the thoughts of the great wolves intertwine like the tentacles of a kraken. Everyone who appears before the gate is granted a vision. Mine was a dark omen. I saw myself in two guises. One as white as the moon, and the other as black as the lowering sky. And the two were locked in combat. As for which of me emerged victorious, that was hidden from my sight. That is not what frightened me. The Black Wolf's gaze was fearsome, full of more pain than he could ever inflict upon himself. It drove him mad, turning him into a monster. And as dark as he appeared, I recognize him as myself. After all, I was made for destruction, torments, annihilation. I'm the more agile monster. Does that mean by the All-Father's design I must drink this cup of pain from the bottom in order to fulfill his plan? I do not know.
Tell me, why are there no rhymes in your songs?
Rhymes are empty flippantry. A saga must be alive. If the words happen to fall into a rhyme, well, that is grand. But to make your whole story fit neatly into such a pattern, you must either twist the truth into a service of beauty, or live your life for the sake of a rhyme. Neither is to a wolf's liking. Our sagas are voices sounding through eternity. Whether we hear them, we do not hear stories. We hear the tellers, speaking their words to us now.
Do you still believe you will find your brothers?
I will find them. Probably not alive, but I will find them.
Thank you for your answers. What are the servants doing?
It is time for me to don my skin again. Ulfar shrugs wearily, his body giving off heat and an animal scent. One of the servants opened a casket containing contact unguent that will be used to anoint each of the black carapace neural ports, marring the wolf's skin. This sacred augmentation seamlessly fuses Ulfar's body with his armor and every fiber blunder with it. I feel flayed without it. Recently, I've been trying to remember what it's like to live without a skin. Can't. Too many years have passed. I'm pleased that my servant found a fitting shrine for your armor. Astartes needs very little. A cell and a table where I can perform the purifying rite on my weapon. That is all I require. But to keep the armor bestowed upon me by the Ulfar in some shabby cubicle would be sacrilege. This chamber will do well for the vesting ceremony. There's a good plasteel beneath the rich decoration and gilding. Yes, I am satisfied. What will you do now, then? I must return. My foe awaits me. It would be dishonorable to retreat from this battle. But I will need help in the fighting. Sure, why not? Count on me. I know it. Ulfar nods to the servants, and in low voices they begin to guttural prayer. Shadows leap across the walls, twisting together in a majestic and savage dance. In the flickering candlelight, the sacred rite is performed. The angel of the Emperor is clothed in the armor of the unwavering faith and his wrath. Alright. And there's just a few things here that you guys can pause and look at if you guys really want to. I'm not going to go into detail because I've dialogued hell a lot. So yeah, there you go. Those are the dialogues that you can see. I don't believe there's anything else here. I will check the sides just to be sure, but I'm fairly certain that there is nothing here worth noting. We've basically found everything here, so yeah. No need to go too overboard. So yeah, let's leave. We are now going to join Ulfar on his hunt. This time we are, and that is... Of course, we'll have to follow his instructions, but that's a given. If we want to survive. I think it's probably wise that we do so. Give me a hot second. I'm going to take a drink. Alright, let's get back into things. Let's see. I guess we go back to the Corona Expanse map, and we are going to drop in. We need to go with Ulfar, so take everybody off, and off we go. We'll let that load. And let's get into it. Alright. With Ulfar at our side, let's go see what this creature that has plagued us is seeking to do to us. The hunt begins.
This is intriguing.
We'll do some athletics here.
Just as I planned.
Grab that. We get ourselves a Melta weapon, a very powerful Melta weapon. On hit, targets must perform a toughness resistance test with a +10 bonus. And let's see. Where is it? It is... I just want to see the stats on this. Here it is. Here we go. If they fail, they suffer burning 24 and melting. Additionally, they are stunned for 1 turn. If they pass, they just suffer burning and melting. This is a absurdly potent weapon if you're looking for a good weapon to utilize. So grab it if you can. It is worth it. Can't search that. The scouts discovered Ulfar's lifeless body here. Okay.
Oh, this is Necron stuff. The tracks of the mysterious enemy that defeated the Space Wolf have almost been hidden by the snow. We're gonna save here, so that way we can continue our investigation. We should be good. Alright, off we go.
Backup plan.
Oh, hello. Let's disable this.
Success is the only outcome
Nice.
I accept.
And off we continue.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Alright, disable that.
Learn from this mistake.
Well, that was one trap. We can load. Yeah, let's load. Why not? We can easily just reload if we fail a check. It's not like it's a huge big deal. Alright.
Is there money to be made? That's how it's done.
Alright, off we go.
This could be an opportunity.
Save here. We're doing well, all things considering. I'd say we're, you know, pretty much nearing the end here. Alright, let's disable this trap here. Properly, this time.
Just as I planned.
There we
I
go.
always keep my options open.
Oh, that's another trap added to the list. Multiple, if I dare say.
I always get the job done.
Alright, this is 3 traps now.
Here is just a temporary setback.
You know what?
Keep
It's
your
fine.
wits about you.
We'll keep going. Alright. This should be the area that we are looking for. Or the area that we're supposed to be looking through. Alright. Time to get violent with whatever comes our way. And I see. My brothers. Red brows furrowed in anguish, Ulfar bows down to the bodies, encased in ceramite and adamantine. Once again, fate has barred me from traveling to the Hall of Allfather with my brothers. The snow-covered battlefield reveals little, but it's clear that the wolves gave furious battles one last time. The rocks are pitted from bolter strikes, and here and there you see scorch marks left by plasma charges. Who are they fighting? I smell no corruption on their bodies, and I see no traces of Xenos weapons. I think they did battle with humans here. What do you think they were looking for here? I do not know what they were seeking, but they clearly found someone here. Otherwise, this crime would have not been committed. I'm sorry that they died. Do not be sorry, Atvar. They died with honor, as the All-Father warriors should. In the Hall of Chala, their horns will be full to the brim with heeding beyond. Ulfar gnashes his teeth in anguish. Heaving a breath, Ulfar mutters, I sense evil in their death. The souls, the baleful howl are not at rest, but remain here on the battlefield. They are not with the Allfather. I must escort them to him. Will you bear witness to the last honor given to my brothers? Why me? Our sagas have long since become one, and the tradition bids that the burial be witnessed by another clanman, not an outsider. I have no one closer than you here. What are you gonna do? I will sing their sagas so that the world remembers who they were, and the flames will take their bodies. And we will drink to the memory of my pack to ease their march to Kijala. I see. I shall bear witness to their final... Well... I shall bear witness to their final honor. Ulfar produces a knife inscribed with scarlet runes. Picking up a rock from the ground, he begins to scratch the rock's sharp edge across the blade, etching a name. His powerful voice rumbles. Hear now the saga of the baleful Howl Pack, proud warriors of Fenra, Frenya. The verses weave together, recounting the deeds of each of Ulfar's dead brothers, with incredible precision in every detail. The wolf lists the accomplishments of his comrades, the enemies they slew, the sacrifices they made. The saga continues at length, and a relentless rhythm sends you into a trance. With a grinding screech, the rock is drawn across the knife blade again and again, inscribing one name after another. On the cold wind they gave battle, the pack's fierce name never disgracing. So ends the saga of the baleful howl, and the void thunders with echo unending. Frenya's Hilda. Ulfar is silent for a long time. The etched knife blade slices across the huge palm, and Scarlet drops from the paints in the snow. His weary voice rasped. Hear my oath, our father. Helga Thra Agnia. With his bloody hand, the wolf removes a recovered horn from his belt, and from a flask pours something dark and sharp-smelling into it. Let us drink to my brother, Zanfir, and then we will build a pyre. What oath did you swear? It is the oldest oath on Fenris. It translates as I will avenge or I will be forsaken. And the horn? Usually wolves are commemorated with Mjord, but I'll just have to settle for something I made myself. A few poisonous herbs from Janus, some rare toxins traded on footfall. Maybe this brew will overcome the physical might of the Astartes. How I wish that my omen would prove a lie, and that my libation would sour without ever being tasted. Sounds like you're asking me to drink poison. I'm not a madman. It's a strong brew, but it'll not kill you. It shouldn't, at least. But it may envelop your mind in a haze of dreams. Not believe everything you see. The visions may have been sent by the Ulfar, by someone less unworthy. Feast well, then, wolves. Why not? You only live once. Oh no. The astringent liquid burns your throat, and a fog immediately descends over your vision. The sky darkens, and the rising winds whistle in your ears. Through it comes the high-pitched cawing of a bird. Ulfar nods approvingly. It's a sign. Fate walks beside his skull. Taking back his horn, the wolf takes a mighty swallow of the stuff. Majestic shadows rise in the snowy haze around you. The figure of warriors clad in indestructible armor, bearing an emblem of two black fangs piercing the yellow of the sun. They're looking at you. The brothers bear witness, which means it is time for us to meet my last comrade. What comrade? There is one missing among the dead, and now I know who I was fighting before. It was Brother Inglif. What happened to this Inglif? He went mad with grief over the bodies of his brothers, and the curse of the Wolfen prevailed over his valiant heart. He became a beast. Is he dangerous, or will you be able to reason with him? There is no reasoning with one who knows only the black bitterness of hatred. The curse of the Wolfen is not only our bane, but also our shield against temptation. When intolerable thoughts take shelter in a wolf's mind, the curse comes and drives them out, dousing them with the waters of anger. You cannot reason with a Wolfen, or deceive him, or entice him. That is our bloody talisman against evil.
What do we intend to do with him? Corruption is washed away by blood. We will cleanse his spirit, as there is no hope for his body now. None return from the curse's embrace. Calcazar once encountered another of my brothers, who had also become a wolf. He captured him and brought him to Fenris. That is a debt we came here to pay. But we have no way of doing what Calcazar did. So we will have to grant Brother Ignif peace. I see. The wolf moon raises its head and howls. Then it turns its wise, piercing gaze on you, and blood rains down from its snow-white fangs onto the frozen world. Where do you intend to look for? A toothy grin is the only response you receive. You see his fangs lengthening before your eyes. Is it Ulfar laughing at you, or the feral moon suspended in the sky? The fog clouding your mind grows thicker. He'll come. Let's do this. Ulfar lets out a belligerent howl, whipping up snowdrifts into frightening whirlwinds. You hear a terrible cracking sound. Someone's feet. No. Paws are breaking through the crusts of snow in the ground. The beast now comes, and its cruel howl awakens the fallen warriors of Fenris. Alright, Ulfar, we want you positioned here. We are going to move over to here, and just pray that's enough. Let's start the battle. Ulfar is down immediately, and we get harassed. And we're down. That's a load. Well, if there was anything that was going to do us in, it was going to be that. So, sad to say, that's to be expected.
I always have a backup plan.
But then again, that we're dealing with Space Marines, so obviously it'd be dangerous, so whatever. Okay. Okay, there we go. Alright, we're gonna save here properly now, so that way we can actually do this fight proper, without having to reload everything. Okay, so we are left with two eagle-eyed ghost wolves that are gonna be acting. This guy's gonna act, and this guy. So preferably we want something that's gonna get us in a position where we're not gonna be targeted by either of them. So we will distract with Ulfar here. We're going to be forced into a position where we're going to have to find some significant cover, so post up here, I guess. And we'll put Ulfar here. There you go. That should be enough. I pray that's enough. Oh god. That's load. So basically, we just have to overcome this issue. We can't let ourselves get killed here, so... Alright, pray that's enough. Okay, we just barely managed to get out of that. Okay, good. Okay, we're moving over to here. We're using a medkit immediately here.
Alright, there we go. Alright, we're going to activate all of our buffs here. Or at the very least, the majority of the buffs anyways. We'll do Wildfire here, pray that's enough. Here we go. As you can see, the sound is a little bit glitched, but that's fine. We're playing with safety in mind here, so we're just going to get full defense here. We're going to save under... pain, because this is clearly going to be one of those times we're going to need it. And we'll just pray that our versatility is going to stack up to everything that they're going to throw at us, because we're going to need to dodge and block against as many hits as possible. Okay, they're going to start firing bursts of shots at us. And I'm down, because it's just miss. It's a good thing I have this load here, so that way I can just get ready for the worst. Okay. Oh god. Okay, we're gonna activate this, because this will give us 31 dodge and parry. So if we move here... we can effectively remove traumas. There we go, we brought back to 57 HP. Alright, let's burst fire here. Alright, if I post myself here, it'll allow for a better shot on these guys. There we go. Alright. Pray this is enough. Alright, we're gonna save under pain, because we really can't do much beyond this, so we're gonna go cautious approach here. And aside from minus 20 or so, we're just gonna have to hope that's enough. So we're gonna save under pain. And pray this is gonna be the go-to that we've got, so there you go. Save there. Let's see. Alright, we dodged those. Ghost Wolf is gonna do that. And we go down. So that's another load. I do believe as long as we are able to dodge, we should be fine, because it's the first few rounds that are gonna really test our patience here. Okay. Yeah, so I really gotta push this, huh? This is gonna be quite the journey just to get this successful, huh? Oh well, it's a dodge fest that we need to overcome, so I kind of expected this gonna be the case. Dodge, perfect, that's one. But that's not enough to stop the second, which is the issue. So yeah, back to the shenanigans that we go through again. We pray that we just overcome it. Alright, pray. And GG, yeah. We are just not getting lucky, huh? I'm just wondering if there's really anything I can do to change my fate a little bit here. Not really. Huh. What I could probably do... yeah, it's clear the eagle-eyed ghost wolf here is going to be attacking us multiple times. So we have to keep that in mind as we're doing this. So what I'll do here... It seems I can still reach from here, so what I'll do is I'll move here, maybe. Okay, if I move here specifically... No, that's still not enough. If I move here, maybe? That'll hit... Just barely guarantee a hit here, so we're just gonna do this. You know what? No, let's actually load that. I can do better. Okay. Alright. Let's first start by stacking up our points here on Reckless Rush. Doesn't matter if we do damage, that's not the point here. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about the damage. I'm more concerned about getting the... any sort of advantage we can get off this, basically. There we go. Okay, we're going to do a Reckless Rush here. We want to get behind as big a full cover as possible. We want to get over to here at least, I'd say. That's the closest to full cover we're going to get here. I'll do one more Wildfire. So that way I can get as much damage out as possible here. There we go. That's the most I can theoretically cause. And then I will activate Cautious Approach. We're going to lose out on 4 points here, I believe. Give or take some. And then we want to entrench here, because this will give us a... we get a 30% cover efficiency, which is sort of what I'm banking on. So we're going to bank on the cover efficiency, and we're going to be spamming that for a while until we actually get our until we get our stacks up for versatility, because that's the biggest hurdle here right now. Ow. Ow. And we're down again. Man, they're really hurting us. I mean, worst case, I can go back to the autosave, so it's not like it's a complete hogwash here. But I'm in a real bad situation where I don't think I'll be able to take them out at this rate. Huh. They just do absurd amounts of damage that they can guarantee. I can't stop that. I'm not too concerned about that guy. I'm more concerned about this guy. Okay. Ow. Okay, no, both of them are just bad in general. Ah, jeez. I mean, okay, there is a way I can make this even better for myself, if I want to guarantee the results. I do the same thing that I did before, but I do the movement similar to what I did before, but I just make sure I apply the surefire to it. That's the only thing that's stopping me from getting a guarantee here. And I'm down already, so yeah. It's such a this is such a specific fight. I'm not sure I'll be able to handle it at this rate. Oh god. But then again, this is the final battle, so I'm expected that I'm gonna lose a lot here. So let's just pray. Okay, we survived way better than before, so I'm actually gonna save this result, because this is way better. I'm gonna save this under pain, but I will make a pain 2 for it, just for the occasion, just in case. Okay. I'm gonna move all the way over to here. Burst fire. There we go. I'll do a run and gun here. I won't be able to see my prey by going there. I can certainly move here and try. I won't be able to target anybody like that, so I'm gonna have to move even further here. I'll make sure I get into full cover here. And I'm gonna make sure Surefire Plan is on. There we go. Alright, Surefire Plan is now on. Alright, we're going to do a single shot here. Alright, we're going to do a multi-shot here. We're not even going to give it any modifiers because I need to save for Entrench here. Because that's what we need to do. Alright, I'm going to heal here to give myself the added benefits as much as possible. There we go. We have 123 dodge, which is increased up to 153 dodge. And then we entrench with a 30% bonus to cover. And we will just have to pray that Pain 2 will carry us. Pain... Oh, wait. I might have saved under Pain by accident. No, I've just saved under pain. Oh well. Alright, well, it's fine. I'm fine with this load. We'll be cool. They're gonna do their thing. We've dodged somehow. Ow. Okay, even after all that, we are still at a 18. Jeez. Well, worst case, if we don't have enough, I will still find a way to make it work, so it's not like it's a huge deal. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move up to here, I guess. I'm going to swap over to the Flamer, because I specifically want to get them blinded, if I can. If I can get them all blinded, or at least 2 of them, that's gonna be fine. Okay, 1 of them is blinded. That's fine. And let's activate this. I can move right back to my spot here. I'm gonna activate Wildfire. I did not actually add the excess movement. That's my mistake. Or excess dodge, I should say rather. Oh, well. Add extra bullets, I guess. Why not? We'll focus on the 38 here. Boom. Pray that's enough. It does seem like they're very easy to deal with, though, so we've just managed to deal with 1 of the 2, which is a big boon in our case, because that means that 1 of the 2 enemies that we were concerned about is no longer going to be firing at us. And especially considering the fact that that guy just chose to target somebody else, is way better. Alright, let's run and gun it. Alright. Back to our position here. Alright, let's see. What position can I get into? Not a good one, if I'm being honest. Let's try and take both of these guys out at least. I'm gonna move to cover here so that way I can actively face these guys properly. I'm gonna turn off cautious approach here because I do believe it's gonna be necessary. There we go. Okay, this guy managed to dodge point blank. I'm kind of surprised. Well, it's pretty obvious that this guy needs to go down first, because otherwise we are just going to die. So, devastating attack on top of everything, followed by surefire plan. We don't want this guy to survive. So, absolute bonkers on damage. Done. And then we will wildfire just for extra measure. And just completely dash him with extra damage. There we go. Let's see, what do you do? Okay, you're doing that. Okay. Let's get a free reload in. Alright. And And deal with the Ice Blade Ghost Wolves. There we go. Done. For our troubles, we get some, yeah, we get some Adeptus Astartes equipment that we don't really use, so we'll just grab these. Massive Astartes plasma pistols. If we were, Adeptus Astartes, we would use them, but sadly we are not, so there you go. Somehow we managed to survive that. Kind of a miracle, if I'm being honest, but I digress. We've dealt with the Ghost Wolves. But, of course, this is not the end, so I predict that we're going to have another situation there for the future. But for now, we should be fine. Me and Ulfar handle it quite clearly. Although we are heavily drunk now, so I guess we'll see how things pan out there. We can return, though, I do believe, and we should be fine. Oh. Do I still need to... I feel like I still need to do more, apparently. I think we have to burn the bodies. I think that was something that needed to be done. Or I've broken the game. One of the two happened. I think the game broke. Alright, well that's a load, I guess. Well... I'm not too surprised it broke, but I'm disappointed that it did. Oh well. I guess there's like a specific chain of events that need to overcome for this, so... Alright, so we have 147 HP. Let's see. 15% of our maximum wounds per rank of Conviction Iconoclast. So now this should be healing 60%, I believe? At least 60%. So I'm going to equip all these. And just to check... yeah, rank 4 gives us a 60% heal rate, which is way better than what we would have been getting. So, let's do that. We'll quickly go through these things here. I'm going to speed through most of it, though. And pray that's enough. It's a bit wonky and glitchy, I must admit, so we're gonna have to, unfortunately, we're gonna have to save under here, because, I do believe the, glitch is not gonna be fixed, no matter what we do. Well, unless we won't be able to fix it normally, so... We're gonna have to go through that dialogue every single time, I fear. And that's on a, good note. Alright. Let's quickly go through the dialogue. Okay. Alright, there we go. And of course I go down immediately. My god, this game's just absolutely appalling when it comes to this. Oh well. It could just be a glitch, period. You know what? You know what? Maybe I just need a break. I'm gonna wrap it up here. For next stream, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through all of our final companion quest lines just to wrap things up, because there's a bunch of stuff that we do in the final act here. And then we'll go confront the final boss, and we'll go see how things pan out. But, yeah. Essentially, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through the Well, I'm going to try and go through this battle, and hopefully, by the end of it all, we will see what becomes of this entire flock of people. We'll talk with Ulfar, go through that all shenanigans, and we'll just be going through that. But I digress. I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I know I did. And I'll see you guys next stream. Take care, everybody. And have a good day.